It looks like the Portland, Oregon real estate market is going to remain hot as we head into summer. Hey, Lily with Living Room Realty here to give you a real estate market update for the month of May 2024. As I said there, we are continuing to see a hot real estate market here in the Portland, Oregon area. Even in the numbers, which I'll jump right into here, we are seeing a huge increase of activity, especially when we look compared to last year. And the interesting thing to note, which we'll also talk a little bit more about, is interest rates have not gone down, and even in some cases in the last few weeks have even gone up. Going into the numbers right now, new listings saw an increase of 28% with 3,120 homes hitting the market. Pending sales saw an increase of 8% with 2,313 homes going under contract. Sold homes saw an increase of 19% with 1,883 homes going to new homeowners. So across the board there, we again saw an increase of activity. Interesting again to note that, we said this last month, at first when we were seeing the market starting to shift and getting a little bit more activity, it was really buyers that were the ones who were really activating this market. And it was kind of slow for sellers to take note. Now in the last, month or two, we're really seeing sellers starting to catch up and share that similar motivation. Now it's maybe not matching the motivation from buyers. We're still seeing high competition, which is kind of how we measure that. And then we also see that from inventory. At one point we did see inventory actually shoot up a decent amount. I think we might have actually saw it go up to almost around 3 months of inventory. Last month it was 2.3 and now it's at 2.4 months of inventory. So that means if we were to have no new homes come to the market in around a little under 2.5 months, we would be out of inventory based on current demand. Really interesting to note there again that buyers are out there shopping. It's, an interesting market right now. I think it's one where I really am trying to encourage my clients to have these one-on-one conversations with me of watch this video, give you this general idea of what's happening in the market, do your own research, look at obviously what you can find online. There's some helpful information there, but every situation is going to be so unique still right now. While I can give you the general advice that yes, homes are going to sell faster, average days on market right now for the listings at my brokerage Living Room Realty is right around 5 days. So really quick from a house getting put on the market to going under contract, having that done in 5 days, less than a week there. That's, good general advice as well. We're seeing a lot of homes getting multiple offers. We're seeing homes need competitive terms. But to the point I want to make is not every home is like that. Not every price point is like that type of home area. I'm seeing widely different trends area to area when you're looking in the Portland metro area, including all of the suburbs and other cities. Again, really depends. I had just a weekend or 2 weekends ago, two separate clients go under contract, one in Northeast Portland, one in Milwaukee. And, one, it was the multiple offer situation, 4 offers. We won that contract, which is great, won that house, but, we had to compete against other people, write all these, specific repair terms, jump pretty significantly in price. Whereas the other property, we ended up still writing fairly competitive terms there just because we know what the market is like, but we were able to write a really great offer, and if I recall, at asking price for my clients, and use just some reasonable terms. And again, they were the only offer. We weren't competing against anybody else. One thing I really did want to note, I was thinking about, went on a walk before this, and I was like, one good thing to talk about I've noticed in the general trends is just because a house is sitting on the market does not mean that it can't get multiple offers. And same thing goes for a house that has fallen out of contract. So on one property I went under contract on last week, the home had been listed for 20 days, I want to say 24 days. In that case, you can assume, okay, we're going to go in, take our time seeing this property, write our offer, hopefully get it accepted because it's going to still be a strong offer, maybe get some competitive. And, a few months ago, we would be writing, asking for a seller closing credit and all these things. Mind you, this house was in like a really hot area that everybody wants. But this house was on the market for 20 days. And part of that time was also due to it already being under contract and falling out of contract. Well, in this case, we still competed against, I believe, 3 other offers. So, we ended up winning this contract, but this is another scenario where my clients did have to go up in price a little bit. So something interesting to note there. And just really exemplifies how even home to home, things are kind of different right now, and why we are here to help you, and why us as conversations right now are happening around buyers agents, why we are so important to work with and have there with you, and to have someone who's highly experienced and working in this market actively. I'm going to do a video here on my Instagram soon again about how, your average agent in Portland only sells, I think it was like 80% of agents. I'm totally saying this off my head, so I can correct it later if I need to. But I think it was like 80% of agents sold less than 5 homes last year. That is hugely significant because we aren't taught that much when we first join in real estate. The test is fairly easy to take, all the schooling. You join a brokerage, some teach you stuff, some don't. You really learn as you go, as you do transactions. So working with somebody who has a good amount of transactions under their belt and are continuing to work actively and regularly is highly important. Okay, that was a little tangent, side little soapbox there, but seems, relevant in these times. But yeah, mostly what I'm saying there, again, is just come talk with me. If you are interested in buying, if you're someone I'm actively working with, come talk with me. We can have a more delineated conversation based on what you are actually looking for and what we're seeing in your specific micro market. And then let's go on to sellers. So home sellers, this is an interesting market for you as well. We're seeing a heightened amount of activity. As I said there earlier, 28%, we saw a 28% increase in new listings to the market. So that does say that, sellers are seeing motivation, but that also means there's more sellers out there, more competition. But wouldn't honestly worry about that too much right now, just because there is such high demand, as we've talked about. And so your home has a high likelihood of getting absorbed by that market, aka that's realtor talk for getting a really nice solid offer accepted, going under contract and closing. For you, it is still good to note we're sticking around. Average sales price is sticking around 604. It hasn't moved all that much in the last few months, really, in good deal of time here. As you've probably heard in the news, obviously, and it's kind of a big conversation with inflation right now and interest rates remaining high. There's still going to be, some hesitancy on people jumping in price. And that's where I say all of this information is average information. Average days on market, 5 days right now. And that's at my brokerage, where we tend to have our listings go under contract faster, I will say. It might be actually different if I looked at the numbers metro-wide. But, that's an average. It's not the case for everything. There are still houses. I'm showing a few houses this weekend to a client where, the average days on market we're seeing for those houses, because it's a particular style and type, is around like 50 days, I noted. So again, it's going to really depend for you. But in general, what we are seeing is prices starting to increase. I have a client who is looking to potentially sell their condo, and they're in a market and style that they actually saw their property value decrease at one point. And now we're starting to see it come back when you look at the comps of what's selling in their condo complex. And so it's going to take some time for certain homes, but in general, we're seeing things really work well for sellers. And again, I always say this, but if you are someone who is willing to put in the work to prep your house right, have the right people here to market your house, price it right, that's when you can have those really amazing, experiences and results where you're the house that gets under contract in 3 to 5 days. You can go off to the coast for a weekend and you come back and I tell you we have 5 offers. So again, it's really going to depend also just on the type of house you have, but there are some really good scenarios that could work for you and some really good results. And I'd be happy to chat with you about those. I would want to talk a little bit more about what we're going to see here going through the summer, but I might have to do another video because somehow I'm getting to about 9 minutes already. But yeah, hope this was helpful. If you have any questions for me, if you are looking to buy a home, sell a home, do both, have any plans out there regarding real estate, I would love to chat with you and have a no pressure conversation about your plan, strategy, all of that fun stuff. Feel free to find my contact information below, and I look forward to talking with you. All right, thanks.